Good morning and welcome to the Crawford County Commissioners Work Session for January 15th. Before we go to the agenda, I'm going to make a motion to add to the agenda a ratification to appoint Brittany Johnson as the Chief Clerk of Crawford County.
I'll second that.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cata.
Hey, good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, Tim.
Morning.
I'm here to request the appointment of Travis Palmer, Crawford County resident, to a 4-year position to the CATA Board of Directors for a term ending 12/31/2028. We ran 2 notices in the Meadville Tribune, did multiple social media posts. We had 6 interested candidates. In consultation with our Board of Directors, we'd like you to consider what would be a reappointment of Travis to the board. This would be his second term, second 4-year term to the CATA Board of Directors.
Okay.
Any questions for Tim? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Adult probation.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Hello.
First item here is the approval to pay the invoice in the amount of $3,443. This is for the 2025 live scan maintenance fee to the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police Association. This was in our 2025 budget. I know it says 24 on the agenda, but this is for 2025 budget. And just to make you aware, this covers all agencies that use that machine. I know the sheriffs use it sometimes. I know juvenile probation uses that machine. That's the maintenance fee for all the departments to use it. We just put it under our budget to make you aware of that.
I'm checking Stephanie because this is the last year's discussion. Does that sound all correct, or do you want to have a discussion afterwards about it?
I would like to have a discussion about
I'm trying to remember last year we had this discussion about maintenance, but okay, go ahead, continue.
Okay. And then the approval to pay invoices in the amount of $1,133 for a Class 6 county annual assessment for the County Chief of Adult Probation Parole Officers Association. This is also in our budget.
Okay.
And then the approval to pay invoice in the amount of $15,160 for the annual fees for our AP management systems license, mobile licenses, collection reminders, tech support, text reminders, and our data service for the court data. This is also in our budget. This is our main computer system we use in adult probation for day-to-day activity.
Okay. Any questions for Trevor? Thank you. The correctional facility. Morning, Jack.
Morning, Commissioners.
Hello, Jack.
First of all, item A, we're gonna table that for a later date.
Table on the item 8, go ahead.
So item B, looking to ratify the payment of $1,490 to Powell Sanitation and Construction. Powell Sanitation was called to pump the grease trap due to hard masses of grease causing clogs. This is not a budgeted item.
Okay.
I'd like to also add that I'm gonna contact Powell's and see if we can get a preventive maintenance going down with that, because they used to do it prior, and they haven't been out there forever, so.
Let's have Monica do that.
Okay. Yep.
And Mark might have some expertise with the fair, how they clean their trap grease and stuff like that.
Okay. Secondly, ratify the payment of $785 to Meadville Plate Glass for the replacement of cell window that was broken by an inmate, and obviously this is not a budgeted item.
Okay.
And item D is pretty much the same, ratify the payment of $841.35 to Meadville Plate Glass for replacement of another broken window broken by another inmate, and this is not a budgeted item.
2 separate items?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for Jack? Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
The pathonetary. Morning.
Morning.
Board of Commissioners, I'm here to have the approval of Pennsylvania Association voluntary yearly dues of $625.
Okay.
Secondly, I'm here to have approved the Pellissippi County Suites and County Software annual maintenance fee of $18,583.
Okay.
And thirdly, I'm here to have the 4-year contract with my county, or my personal office solicitor, that Attorney Keith Button has reviewed and approved for the amount of $5,000 a year, which is the same as the previous one.
Okay. Any questions for the pathonetary? Thank you.
Thank you.
The clerk of courts.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I'm here for, to ask for payment of my association dues for the Pennsylvania Association of Pathonetaries and Clerk of Courts, which I forgot to say the amount in the $625.
Okay.
I also am here for the same thing, for the payment of my association dues to the Register of Wills and Orphans Court Association of Pennsylvania, and it is also $625.
Any questions for Patty?
Nope.
Thank you, Patty. The courts.
Good morning.
Morning, Heidi.
Morning.
We're seeking ratification of an amendment to the Linesville MDJ lease with Esmark Realty LLC. Gives a 2-year extension through December 31st of 2026 at a rate of $2,350.80.
Okay.
Also seeking ratification for payment to the Crawford County Bar Association. This is both county and state dues for the judges and attorneys that work for the courts. The amount is $7,433.10, and it is budgeted.
Okay. Any questions for Heidi?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Register and Recorder.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning,
Hey,
Beth.
Beth.
I have a few things this morning. Requesting approval for payment of the Pennsylvania Recorder Deeds Association annual membership fee in the amount of $625. This is budgeted item.
Okay.
Requesting approval for payment of the Register Wills Orphans Court annual membership fee in the amount of $625. This is also a budgeted item.
Okay.
And requesting approval for payment of the Reynolds Business Systems invoice in the amount of $1,610.44. This covers the annual fees for the PDFA storage for my office for images. This covers the 2025 year, and this is also a budgeted item.
Okay. Any questions for Beth?
Nope.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
The Chief Assessor.
Good morning.
Morning,
Morning.
Jay.
Joe.
We come to you this morning as sort of a joint request here from assessment and for treasurers as we navigate to new software in the treasurer's office. The way that reports will be pulled and where they'll be pulled from is going to kind of change. And IT has done a spectacular job over the years, kind of from a central conduit, and now they're going to be coming from different ones. So does the board have a copy of the proposed new pricing schedule that would be a joint?
Christine, you looked this over too? Okay, thank you.
So what was done, or so what was determined anyway, and we sat down and jointly figured out prices that, and in talking with IT too, that we're covering our costs, not looking to basically make a huge profit here, but just covering the cost for the county at this point. And ironically, last year, the Associates Association listserv had a discussion of fees that were being charged for provision of information. One of the things is to move the flat fee for the entire county digital format to $1,000 for that information. This is from CoreLogic, from some of these other ones. And then the amount per parcel, we're moving to a price that will cover, again, will cover the cost for it. And finally, there had been other fees and things that have been charged determining the scope of the process, and so what we're proposing to do between the two departments is just go to a flat $25 service fee to just start the process at that point, and then the amount of data that would be provided would be 10 cents per parcel.
Okay, any questions for Joe? Okay, thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
The IT Director. Good morning.
Morning, Tim.
We have three items. IT request to purchase the new Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for 2025 through 2027 from CDWG for $149,535.61. This is a budgeted item.
Okay,
Next, request to purchase a new 5-year WebEx phone suite system from Ahead for $341,261.37 with $137,445.45 due in 2025. This is a budget item.
can you explain the reasoning about the end of life for us? So we,
Sure. Skype for Business, our existing phone system, is end of life this year, and we had to get a new phone system. It was simply not going to work. They were going to be, our phones would be paperweights with that voice over IP system. So we looked at like 5 different companies, and this one was a CoStar company that we chose, and they were the best fit for our county.
okay, thank you.
And lastly, request to purchase the dual multi-factor authentication from Aspire. This is the new company that gives us CCAP pricing, so it's a lot cheaper than, it went from, 60-some dollars to 40-some dollars. They took down, so it's like all of CCAP has this kind of cost. That's why we're getting this new company, Aspire. And this is only for the users in the county that access the Clean Network.
Okay,
We're not doing this countywide at this point.
okay,
So it's like 58 users is what this will cover.
okay.
So for $2,769, and this is a budget item.
Any other questions for Tim?
Going back quickly just to item B, that initial cost, this year's for 2025, that includes the cost of the phones.
The biggest cost because of that is the phones.
The hardware.
The hardware and also the statement of work.
Got it.
Because that statement of work is gonna be, in the $70,000 range or
Right.
more, and it basically will get us up and running.
Okay.
But that statement of work and the phones will not be a cost for the 4 years after that.
Okay.
So it'll go.
Yeah,
through.
it just seemed kind of front-loaded, but that
Yeah,
makes
it
sense.
is front
so.
loaded, yeah.
Okay,
Very good.
thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
The Public Safety Director.
Hey, Greg.
Good morning.
Come on, Greg.
Asking this time to approve the payment of $2,500 to McCutcheon Enterprises for the annual hazardous materials team retainer.
Okay,
Also asking to approve the annual inspection and maintenance of the public safety building generator at a cost of $735, and that'll be completed by the William Spader Company.
okay,
And an annual maintenance of the air trailer at a cost of $1,611.42, completed by Breathing Air Systems. And 4 is to approve the purchase and installation of a Zetron gateway for our interoperability with the PA State Police at a cost of $8,598. And lastly, to approve the travel requisition for Dave Amy to attend a GIS conference in State College at a cost of $818.58.
on D, Greg, is that wireless money you're using for that too, I assume?
On D?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Any other questions for Greg? Thank you.
Thank you.
County Maintenance Director.
Good morning, Mark.
Morning.
Asking to ratify approval of invoices for the courthouse remodeling project for $307.61.
Would you like Christine's class?
No, I'm not okay.
You're good, go ahead.
On my head, I apologize. Asking approval to pay Scobell Company to replace a chiller pump at the Judicial Center for $965.
Okay,
And asking approval to pay Brian Noah, project manager, for professional services for the month of November 2024 for $337.50.
Or December, rather. I just wanted to see him
Yep.
do that.
Apologize. Yep.
any other questions for Mark? Thank you, Mark.
That's right, yeah.
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 Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
The Deputy Planning Director, how are you?
Hi, Sam.
Good, I'm good. All right. We request approval, we doubly request apparently, approval of payment to Vote Heating and Cooling for reimbursement totaling $1,152 for training wages associated with construction industry workforce program. It's non-budgeted and paid for out of whole home repair. Approval of payment to MG Electric Services for reimbursement totaling $832. Again, training wages associated with construction industry workforce program. It's non-budgeted and paid for out of whole home repair. We request approval to pay invoice number 4280 from the city of Meadville in the amount of $13,480.01 for reimbursement of code enforcement wages. This is a non-budgeted item paid for out of the fiscal year 22 Meadville CDBG. We request approval to pay a check request. The amount isn't on here, the amount is $16,000. This is for the city of Meadville, and it reimburses for work done at Bicentennial Park Playground. This is non-budgeted and is paid for out of Act 13 Environmental Initiative funds. We would like to ratify the approval of a payout from Pollard Land Services in the amount of $334,054.26 for work completed on the Conneautville Stormwater Improvement Project. It was non-budgeted, and it comes out of our fiscal year 2021, 2022, and 2023 county CDBG.
Okay,
And then again, a ratification of a contract between Crawford County, Erget Building, and homeowner number 14 for home repairs through the whole home repair program.
Okay. Any questions for Sam? Thank you.
Thank you.
Human Services.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Sue.
I'm requesting approval of the award notice for the Child Advocacy Center. This grant will be used to fund the family advocate position, membership fees, and supplies for the CAC. The grant will cover the period of 1/1/25 to 12/31/25. We have been awarded $47,000 through this grant. The requested funding amount is fully state funded with no county match.
Okay.
Requesting ratification of the purchase requisition to Dropbox for their Dropbox licensing software. This would cover the period 12/11/24 to 12/10/25. This is the electronic software that early intervention uses that allows them to provide a legally binding signature to documents and to share documents and collect analytics. The cost is $1,920. The cost to the county is $192.
Okay.
Requesting approval of the acceptance of $106,000 additional dollars from the statewide adoption network funding. We requested a reallocation of funding in the SWAN budget due to experiencing an increase in children placed in substitute care.
Okay.
Requesting approval of the fiscal year 24-25 CYS contract with Samantha Egger for the Child Advocacy Center's Family Advocate position. Samantha is the MDIT coordinator, Child and Family Advocate. She is responsible for obtaining intake information, following up with children and families after the forensic interview, and maintaining the NCA track database. Her position is funded by the PCCD grant. There's no county match on this grant.
Any questions for Sue?
Real quickly, Sue, on the Dropbox requisition, how is that, do you know how that licensing is assessed? Is it agency-wide or is it like per user?
It's per user,
Okay.
and we have 5 users
Okay.
in early intervention.
Got it.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Finance.
Good morning.
Morning.
For your approval, I have the following invoice. It is the request from the Crawford County Solid Waste Authority for the 2024 budgeted allocation in the amount of $80,000.
All right. Any questions for Tony? Sheriff Powers. Morning.
Howdy, sir.
I'm here to request approval to pay the Sheriff Association dues for this year, the total $700.
Okay.
I'm also here to ask to ratify, we have previously approved for the new cruiser bar light at $1,500, and I've got the actual invoices, $2,329.62.
Yeah, I appreciate you still checking in case we can get lower, so it's no problem. Scott and I'll make some phone
I'll
calls.
make some phone calls here this morning.
I appreciate it.
Scott might have his first Kojak light or something if you want to put it.
I think I do.
GIS.
Hi, Jan.
Morning, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
So I'm here to ask for the payment of 2 invoices to Civic Vanguard for November of last year and December of last year. November's amount was $1,692 and December $2,726.
Okay. Any questions for Janet? Thank you.
Are you not going to the GIS
No, thank you.
conference or whatever?
I'm fine.
HR.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Howdy.
I'm requesting ratification for the administrative agreement with Aventrist for 3 free months of ICRA billing and premium services.
Okay.
The next one is ratification for the payment of the February health insurance premium for $386,410.05.
Okay.
And the last one is ratification for the COBRA service agreement with the DJB Group effective 1/1/2025.
Okay. Any questions for Brittany? Okay.
Thank you.
Treasurer.
Good morning.
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 Here to ask you to ratify the agreement for the annual printer maintenance and supply agreement to Hagen Business Machines effective 1/14/2025.
Okay.
Also asking for approval for the payment of the 2025 dues to the Crawford County Treasurers Association of Pennsylvania in the amount of $625. It is a budgeted item.
Okay.
And asking for approval for the payment of 2025 dues to the Tax Claim Bureau Association of Pennsylvania, and that amount is $250, also budgeted item.
Okay. Any questions for Christine? Thank you. The Voter Services Director. Nice to see you come to the podium.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Jess.
Good morning. I would like to ratify the payment of $2,253 to the Corey News Journal for the publication of the election proclamation on November 1st, 2024. This is
Okay.
the budgeted item.
I'd also like to approve the renewal of the annual printer maintenance and supply agreement to Higgins, with effective date of February 1st, 2025.
Okay.
And lastly, I'd like to request to approve the annual MSA payment to Dominion Voting Systems in the amount of $221,932.50.
Not putting you on the spot, but that is year 6, correct?
Pardon me?
It's year 6 of 7 or 7 of 8? I'll double check with you.
offhand.
I think it's the second to the last or the last. I can't remember. I just wanted to clarify. There's 8.
It's coming up, I know.
Yeah, I believe
Jocelyn's
it's
like,
up,
you're not supposed to ask any questions.
Yeah.
here, so.
I believe that it's up in August of next year,
Okay,
but I'm not,
thank you.
Okay.
I haven't heard back from Mark from Dominion yet.
If you could double
He's
check
supposed
this
to
what
look
year it is,
into
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's looking into it for us, but
Okay.
he hasn't sent me an official date yet.
Good, and although I know you're up here and it's not on the agenda, so the Blooming Valley stuff, we did put the signs out for the stuff.
Yes, I did,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
did
not
hear from
fired
us.
upon, it was
Good.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate it for it. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
All right, thanks.
Okay, the Commissioner's Office, Courtney.
Some notifications. There's 2 notifications from GPI on behalf of Vernon Township Sanitary Authority to make improvements to their disinfection system by changing from gaseous chlorine to liquid chlorine disinfection at their Fredericksburg and South Watson Run wastewater facility in Vernon Township.
Okay.
A Chapter 102 permit notification from PADCNR regarding intent to apply to PADEP for the retrofit of the 4 BMPs constructed during the reconstruction of the Tuttle Beach Campground project in Oceanango Township. All the work has been completed.
Okay.
Notification from Peter Rabbit for reissuance of a NPDES permit to allow discharge of treated sewage to surface waters of the Commonwealth and/or construction of the facility in Greenwood Township.
Okay.
Notification from CSC Inc. to renew an existing air quality operating permit in Sadsbury Township.
Okay.
Notification from EnviroThink Inc. on behalf of U.S. Bronze Foundry and Machine Inc. for renewal of an operating permit for the facility's regulated emissions in Woodcock Township.
Okay.
Notification from Guys Mills Water Association for renewal of a NPDES permit for the Guys Mills Mutual Water Plant in Randolph Township.
Okay.
And notification from PADEP regarding a replacement project of a structure over French Creek on SR 0006, Section B12, for the replacement of the existing truss bridge with a new steel girder bridge on the same alignment in Hayfield and Woodcock Townships.
Okay, any questions for Courtney?
No.
All right, so the upcoming events will be closed on January 20th, which is in observance of Martin Luther King Day. January 22nd will be next full session, and February 5th will be next work session after that. Any public comment? Commissioner comments? Commissioner Seeley?
Nothing today, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Commissioner Shell?
Stay warm. Thank you.
Okay, I have nothing else. We will see you next week.